Hello and welcome to this PAC-CXP Group webinar, where we'll be discussing application-related services and taking you through our outlook for 2018. I'm Sarah Wilson and I'll be moderating today's webinar. I'm joined by Vice President Frank Nyman and Senior Consultant Joanna Buchan, who will be your host for today. If you have any questions during the webinar, please use the chat function and we'll spend some time at the end of the webinar answering as many of these as possible. So without further ado, I'll pass you to Frank to start the webinar.
Thanks, Sarah, for the introduction, and welcome everyone to today's webinar. So we are the BAS services team. BAS is for Business Applications and Related Services. And we cover mainly 4 major application platforms. That is SAP, Salesforce, and Microsoft, and Oracle. Regarding Oracle, we don't cover databases, we only cover the business applications. In today's webinar, we want to highlight on our view on these 4 platforms and the strategies. We provide an overview of the market figures we provide for these platforms regarding application-related services in the various areas of the world. Then we will talk about how trends we see for next year in these platforms and how these trends impact your business model as a partner, as a systems integrator and service provider for these platforms. And at the end, we would like to provide some recommendations for you as providers. And of course, we are happy to answer all the questions you have regarding these topics. I now want to hand over to Joanna. She's also part of our team, and she will talk about our strategy review of the Big 4. Please, Joanna.
Hello, thank you, Frank. Hello, we are very happy that you are with us today in discussing the major trends that we see in the next year for BAS and for the Big 4 platforms. We have focused quite a lot this year about digital transformation for all these 4 major platforms as being one of the main topics in the industry. And in this respect, we have summarized for you today the main strategies and how we see the 4 big vendors in digital transformation. For this exercise, we considered digital customer experience, digital workplace, IoT, and supporting technologies. Here we need to say that for supporting technologies, we consider backend processes, analytics, and security. So all the 4 are covering in a various degree these areas. And if we do not want to have here what is good or bad or a radar or something like this, we just want to present how we perceive the 4 platforms in these aspects. And each of them has the assets, the areas that are covered or that are focused more on them, and some areas where they do not want or they did not focus. So if we take them one by one, we can say that SAP is quite strong in supporting technologies, especially the backend processes, and step by step goes into IoT, into customer experience, and maybe less in the workspace yet. On the contrary, the digital workspace champion is Microsoft, also quite comprehensive in IoT and supporting technologies, and more active in digital customer experience. Salesforce is the champion of customer experience, being a cloud-native vendor for CRM, and afterwards expanding to marketing, to commerce, to services, while the other areas are quite poor or partly covered at this point. Through the recent acquisitions, they managed to cover digital workspace and some supporting technologies, but definitely they are strong in this front end part of the processes. While Oracle has also a mixed approach, somehow between SAP and Microsoft and Salesforce, with a strong digital customer experience, with strong supporting technologies, backend processes, analytics, and less present in IoT and digital workspace. This for sure will be the trends that will guideline the industry and the market in the next few years. All these big four vendors have their own strategy, and the system integrators should pay a close attention to these areas in order to be fit and ready to offer their customers the latest technologies. And Frank will cover a bit later these trends in more details, and also what we see as recommendations. In terms of the market, the four here, just to mention, we do not want to provide precise figures. As you are all our customers, you have access to detailed split, and we are also happy to answer your questions in case you have some when you use or when you read our market figures or reports. What is interesting in this picture, and we wanted to show, is the coverage of the four platforms, with Oracle and Salesforce quite strong in Americas, also Microsoft much stronger than in the other geographies, with SAP dominating EMEA and especially Europe, and with APAC that is somehow balanced, an emerging market, also judging by the compound growth that we forecast by 2021. It is interesting also from the perspective of a system integrator. Most of the large ones are covering all the four platforms, but it's interesting also for the specialists to see how they can manage and they can guide their resources and skills among these four major vendors. I will be happy to answer also at the end some questions regarding figures or market splits. Until then, Frank will guide you through the strategies of all these four vendors, what are the assets, and what is in the game for the system integrators.
Thanks, Joanna. And we will start this conversation with SAP. And what we provide here for all these four vendors is, first of all, what are the main topics? What is, in this case, SAP up to? What are the trends we see in the market? And what does it mean for you as a system integrator? So first of all, SAP has started to beat everything around the cloud. So it's ERP in the cloud, namely SAP S/4HANA Cloud. Although they offer the on-premises edition and the cloud edition, they put so much emphasis on the cloud. And another major topic for this year was and will be next year's SAP Leonardo that sits on the SAP Cloud platform. These are the two two major topics we see right now. What is happening in the market? We know from our conversations with systems integrators as well as with the various customers throughout the world that we see more and more migration projects being planned or being right now deployed. Most of them, however, are not cloud edition related. It's on-premises editions. But if you talk about these migration projects, it does not mean, even if it's the on-premises edition, that all these systems will run inside, inside the customers on the customer's premises. We see more and more projects that foresee a deployment in a private cloud environment, and we start to see public cloud environments as well as the deployment option for SAP S/4HANA. Of course, also the existing ECC products. So we see lift and shift projects where you take a existing SAP system and move it to a private or a public cloud. In addition to that, we see customers either on CC or customers that's going to migrate to S4 having an interest into LOB solutions, for example, for HCM. So they want to extend what they already have with SuccessFactors, or they want to extend what they have in ERP with Ariba, be it the Ariba Business Network or the various SaaS applications for procurement, spend management Ariba provides. Although it's not on the list here, but it's also very important that companies look into the SAP Hybris portfolio. So we see an uptake in various markets for Cloud for Customer, the SaaS CRM, that either augments existing SAP CRM solutions or even replace CRM solutions, and also Hybris Commerce, which I think is a very important product going forward for systems integrators as well. We also see with the adoption of these cloud products and with the adoption of S4, the importance of the SAP Cloud Platform. And we see SAP investing into these areas so they mature this SAP Cloud environment, and they have introduced Leonardo as a tool set to develop and deploy data-driven applications, including IoT applications that are deployed on this cloud platform that can be integrated with the various assets of SAP. What does that all mean for systems integrators? First of all, that's the good news. Of course, this migration business will take up, so we will see more and more migration projects, companies that either want to migrate in brownfield or greenfield approaches to S4. We will see cloud deployments as well. However, we would like to recommend that someone should not only look at ERP, although it's a very healthy business and still will be in the foreseeable future. It is important to look beyond. So to look into, for example, the line of business applications, because we have, when we talk to S4 customers, many of them are interested in, after moving to S4, adding other solutions from SAP to their landscapes. And also important will be for the more innovative projects regarding digital to explain what is the role of the cloud platform and SAP Leonardo sitting on the cloud platform, and what is the role and the value. We are still have the feeling that many customers have not fully understood what SAP Leonardo is standing for. And I think this is a topic where systems integrators can do a good job in explaining, providing best practices, and so forth. So it's not just ERP, to sum it up here, it's also other things. That's the important thing to consider for 2018 and beyond. Let's move to Oracle. Here it is about cloud transformation. The whole company now moving towards the cloud. Oracle Cloud is the mantra of today. Very important here is that Oracle Cloud is about migrating any kind of solutions into the cloud, including the database. We here look only at the applications, however. And I think it's very important to see what Oracle is pushing regarding cloud ERP. So first of all, they offer the option to move on-premises applications such as e-business suite into the Oracle Cloud. That's the lift and shift. And also we see application migrations. For example, we see PeopleSoft HCM customers that are interested in moving to cloud HCM solutions, for instance. But more important today, I think, is the various customers that are interested in extending the existing solutions they run with additional applications, additional cloud solutions, for example, for digital customer experience. And the new kid on the block here regarding cloud ERP is NetSuite. NetSuite extends Oracle's reach into the ERP market more towards small and medium-sized businesses. It's still kept as an independent business, and I think we can say it is a growing business here. So also this is a product that may be interesting for systems integrators going forward. What does it mean for systems integrators that work with Oracle? We think it is important that you have a number of different competencies regarding cloud. So it's the strategy for a cloud and a cloud roadmap for the applications companies use today, on-premises applications that can be replaced with Oracle Cloud applications, or that can be extended with Oracle Cloud applications, which means consulting competencies as well as the systems integration competencies, including the migration into the cloud to build hybrid cloud environments. That said, of course, this is not just the Oracle Cloud that's important here. It's also the other hyperscalers that should be considered here. But basically, it's all about cloud transformation that we see as the main topic regarding Oracle applications. Salesforce, although they do not offer ERP, they offer a lot of different products now that all relate to digital customer experience. One of the topics, besides the addition of new features and functions, is the better integration of the different assets they have. I call this the integration of the clouds. And one other important topic here is Einstein. So Salesforce is embedding Einstein into all its products. And Salesforce is not just an application platform. It's more and more a development platform for new applications that complement the application suites, the clouds. Also, it's important that the latest cloud, which is the Commerce Cloud, is integrated into the overall portfolio. The Commerce Cloud, the Commerce Cloud was the result of the acquisition of Demandware. So the integration of the different stacks are the important topics here, and also the integration of AI and analytics into the various products and platforms. What does it mean for you as a systems integrator. We think that the Salesforce projects will become more complex, and this requires more integration. And they will also become larger, not just by means of number of users, but also number of covered topics. So it's sales and service and marketing and commerce. With that, the efforts around integration of the various solutions, as well as the third-party systems and data, is becoming a very important topic for systems integrators. And in addition to that, I think for existing SIs, it will be much more important to add capabilities around AI and analytics to be able to use the features that are embedded, so they embedded Einstein, as well as to build new applications on the Salesforce platform to extend existing applications by means of providing add-ons or even the own IP of SIs. So, and we believe that this will also be a differentiator for systems integrators. If we look at Microsoft, it's two main areas we see that are important. So one is Dynamics 365, which is the integration or the combination, better said, of ERP, NAV, is the former Navision, or AX, former Axapta, with the CRM solution, Dynamics CRM. And also the integration of the different assets of the Azure platform and other applications into this overall suite of Dynamics products. So we see in the market a growing interest in the combination of ERP and CRM. So the combination of these two products being Dynamics 365. And one of the topics that drive this adoption is all around service management, which has to be supported by ERP, but also by CRM related features such as field services automation. One interesting topic here is the common data service that is the basis for the integration or the combination of the product. And also Microsoft is using this data service approach to integrate, for example, Adobe's marketing solution and LinkedIn, the social enterprise social network or business social network they acquired. Also interesting is that Microsoft is investing a lot in integrating the various assets they have to become a more comprehensive solution, which was also the reason why we rated them quite high in our consideration regarding the coverage of the digital topics. So the slide you have seen from Joanna at the beginning. So the integration of Office 365 with a backend, the ability to write small apps with the Power Apps concept, to have easy workflows with Flow, and very important to integrate the intelligence or AI pieces such as Cortana, such as Power BI, and Azure IoT into the context of ERP, for instance. These are the trends we will see for next year, which means for you as a systems integrator that it's not just about one product or a bunch of products anymore. It's the combination of products. So think of Microsoft as a platform, as a collection of products that can be combined to serve certain needs. And you should be, as a systems integrator, able to design solution landscapes, for example, for vertical industries that comprise these different assets. So vertical focus is, I think, very important here for this Microsoft-related business, and that provides new opportunities, especially for those systems integrators that are able to cover the broad portfolio of Microsoft, especially, for example, the combination of ERP, CRM, and Azure topics such as analytics and IoT. That also means that it could be important to provide your own vertical solutions, your own IP on top of the Microsoft platform, including add-ons. I now want to provide some recommendations for service providers that either work for all or one of these platforms. If it's for SAP, we think that it is important to think beyond ERP and beyond traditional ERP. Of course, you need S/4HANA competencies, but at the same time, it makes sense to have competencies in the area of the cloud platform and the line of business applications. So the practice of a SAP service provider should be able to cover this. Also important is because still many companies are not, or potential customers are not entirely convinced on how exactly they should deploy S/4HANA. Building business cases, again, for certain industries will become important. So to show them, okay, this is a possible business case and this is why you can justify if you plan an S/4HANA project. However, it's also important that we see many of these customers using also third-party solutions. So you should be able to integrate third-party solutions as well. We know of many customers that use Salesforce for digital customer experience, and some of them look into HCM delivered by companies such as Workday or Cornerstone. So this third-party integration, where again the cloud platform will play an important role, is an important topic here to be mentioned. Coming to Salesforce, again, industry-specific solutions can be an important topic to look into. So solutions designed by partners that go across the cloud, so the service, sales, marketing, and commerce cloud. And since Commerce Cloud is the latest cloud, it's important because we see the demand from the customers to use something for commerce, multi-channel or omni-channel commerce. It's important to extend the expertise into Commerce Cloud as well. Last thing about Salesforce is that although they have started addressing lines of businesses such as sales and marketing, it's also important to convince the IT departments within the companies, because Salesforce more and more is becoming a platform, and it's about integration, and the operation of the platform is something that IT needs to be convinced of. So the messaging also for you as a service provider should target both audiences. Excuse me. Oracle. Oracle has a very broad portfolio, and it's important to help customers identify which of the different technologies they provide, digital customer experience, the various big data analytics assets, and the increasing assets around IoT and artificial intelligence and so forth, to help customers to identify what is relevant, what can be used to extend existing applications, ERP applications, and so forth. Also, it's important to extend pure applications, pure backend applications more towards topics such as IoT, digital customer experience, because these are the growth drivers for Oracle SIs in the future. And also, it's still important due to the vast portfolio of Oracle to guide customers to understand the enormous and overlapping portfolio of Oracle, and also which of these portfolio elements can move to the cloud. Regarding Microsoft, again, industry-specific solutions are very important. They are not just based on one product, but on the portfolio provided by the Dynamics solutions, as well as the assets that sit on the Azure cloud. And if it comes to the competition, I think it's important to position Microsoft as a vendor of ERP and CRM plus marketing, although marketing does not come from Microsoft themselves, but from the partner for Marketing Cloud, Adobe. These are the things we wanted to share with you today. I hope you found this useful. We would now like to open up for questions. Would like to answer your questions. Do we have any?
Thank you, Frank. Yes, we do have a few questions. So the first question we have is, regarding AI, which of the 4 platforms are leading?
That's an interesting question. So regarding technology, we see that Microsoft has done a lot in AI on the platform level. However, we see that Salesforce has done a lot in embedding AI into Salesforce. So these two have become very active. Regarding technology, we see Microsoft in the lead. However, Microsoft is not so far in integrating AI into their products. They will do that anytime soon, and next year we will see much more of them. Salesforce has already done a lot in Einstein. With Einstein, we'll do more. So does SAP. Oracle has also started with AI. They are not that far advanced as, for example, Salesforce, but they soon will be there. So there is a head-to-head race, if you will. But on the technology side, at least, we would consider Microsoft as the leader.
Here, maybe it's also worth mentioning that, for example, SAP did not consider only for the ERP part, but also for the line of business products. And for example, they are embedding artificial intelligence, machine learning in Ariba in order to provide automated procurement processes. Yeah, so definitely it's a trend, and it will increase much stronger in the next few years.
That's an important topic, Joanna, because in addition to that, we see that technology comes from the vendors themselves, at least in the case of Microsoft and Salesforce. But in addition to that, we see partnerships. So, for example, Salesforce is partnering with IBM on the Watson side. So does SAP on the Ariba side. So the partnerships will also become an important, or are already an important part of this AI strategy.
Okay, thank you, Frank and Joanna. So we have another question from our audience. You highlighted the IoT aspect where Microsoft is the leader. Which group will be dominant in AR, VR markets?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
So the question was, which group, the groups we discussed earlier, will be dominant in AR/VR markets?
So dominant in terms of which of the 4 vendors would be leading?
Yes, I think that's right.
Okay, so if it's a combination of analytics and AI, right now we see Microsoft by means of technology in the lead, because there were a major analytics platform, and now they added a lot of AI things. Salesforce has done a lot from being a pure application embedded analytics and AI provider to now becoming a platform provider of AI and analytics. They call it Einstein platform, but they are not that advanced as Microsoft. Oracle has done a lot in terms of analytics and big data, but they are not, we don't see them that advanced in terms of AI. That said, we see them catching up very heavily. So they have started to embed AI into supply chain. They just recently announced that they embed AI into the management of databases, for instance. So they are catching up very much. But again, we see Microsoft here from the technological standpoint as the leading provider.
Okay, thank you, Frank. I'll just move on to the next question that we have. Apart from the big four that you mentioned earlier, what are the other relevant platforms to consider?
Regarding the platforms for the entire digital business innovation, as we call it, so digital CX, digital workspace, IoT, and supporting technologies, there are not too many that can cover all of them. However, we see, for example, Workday is a relevant platform when it comes to cloud-based applications regarding finance and planning and HCM, and they're going to become a platform. They have started to becoming a platform provider as well. In the same area, we see companies such as Cornerstone, a pure HR provider that is becoming more and more relevant. And there are more specialized vendors such as Pega, for instance. They come from the infrastructure platform business. However, they've added a lot in terms of customer experience, and they are also a relevant platform, especially in areas such as insurance. And besides these more application vendors, of course, we see cloud platform providers such as IBM, Google, Amazon Web Services as highly relevant, as in parts such as IoT, such as cloud and analytics, but they don't cover all these topics. But if we consider digital business innovation, these vendors are also, and many others, of course, are also part of the equation, if you will.
Okay, thank you, Frank. So another question from our audience. What's the percentage of early adopters in EMEA for SAP cloud platforms? Do you have that?
So percentage of adoption?
Early adopters, yeah.
Of early adopters. I don't have it in mind. We have raised that question when we did various empiric studies. I don't have the results in mind. It's just a few that really use the platform for more than just integration. So far, many of the companies we talk to use it for the integration part, so cloud integration, which used to be HANA cloud integration. We only see a few now that develop on the cloud platform. We see more that companies use cloud platform as the deployment option for native HANA applications that come, for example, from SAP that complement existing ERP. I can't say how many percent of the companies that are SAP customers have looked into as a cloud platform or have adopted it yet. I'm sorry.
Okay, thank you. And the last question that we have is, are the platforms mentioned embedded with omni-channel management capabilities?
I will start with this. So here we can speak that all of them have multi-channel capabilities. SAP has a dedicated product like Hybris, and mainly destined to commerce. Also, Salesforce has its own commerce cloud with very strong omni-channel capabilities. But increasingly we see this kind of functionalities related not only to commerce but also to other areas. For example, Microsoft developed omni-channel health. So applying this kind of diverse channels of contact between customer and provider also applied to public services, for example, where the patient links to the healthcare sector in much more modern ways, if you want, than before. So definitely all of them addresses the topic and has their own assets on it.
Okay, thank you for your answers, Frank and Yona, and thanks to everyone that has joined us today. That's it for the presentation, but we'll make sure the slides and the recording are available in the next 24 hours, and we'll email you with the details on how you can access them. If you do have any questions in the meantime about our SITSI research, please do feel free to get in touch. Thanks and goodbye.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.